Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Business Origin Story podcast. I'm your host, Drew Mitchell, and with me today is David from Homewell Cares. And David, why don't you go ahead and take it away and introduce yourself?
Yes, hello everybody. My name is David Lemaire. I'm the owner of Homewell Care Services in Southeast Las Vegas and Henderson, Nevada.
Tell us a little bit about your business and what is it that you do and who you help.
Sure, yes. We are a home care agency and we specialize in assisting the disabled adults and aging seniors in our community. We help assist with personal care, services like assistance with activities of daily living, companion care, as well as specialty living care for people with dementia and Alzheimer's.
All right, and so tell me, how long have you been with that business of yours, David?
So it's been about maybe 15 months now, a little over a year. Maybe, going strong.
Tell me, David, so what is it that got you into this particular line of work?
It's a bit of a long story, but I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible. It started when I was at the age of 12. I suffered a traumatic brain injury, something similar to an aneurysm. Literally, it was the night of Halloween where I experienced an aneurysm in the right side of my brain, and literally felt the whole left side of my body was numb. So thinking it was something I could just walk off, I kind of try to get up and get out of my bed. I'm like, oh, maybe this side of my body just fell asleep. So I'm gonna try to get up and walk it off. As soon as I try to walk, I fall straight to the floor. And then, yes. And luckily, I was sharing the room with my older brother at the time, who had heard me fall to the floor. And he says, "Dave, are you okay?" This is in the middle of the night, maybe like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Wow.
And then he's like, "No," "No." I'm like, "No, I'm not okay. I can't get up. You need to tell mom." And fortunately, my mom has been a nurse now she's been a nurse for over 40 years now. But at the time, that was when I was 12. So that was, she was still into the nursing industry pretty heavy, about like 20 years in at that time. So when she came in the room, she automatically saw a sign of a stroke and then rushed me. Yeah. And because I had slurred speech at the time, and they rushed me to the hospital. And then when I get to the hospital, the doctor who's about to perform the craniotomy on me, he goes over and tells my mother that we're going to perform this craniotomy on your son, but there's no guarantee that he's going to come out of this alive.
Wow.
So my mom, being the devout woman that she is, very, very into God, she's like, at the end of the day, God has that final call. So I'm going to be right here waiting to hear that my son is okay. And then after that, she goes to the chapel in the church where I'm getting my procedure, my surgery done, and she starts praying for me. And lo and behold, during my craniotomy, I had coded during my craniotomy, and I believe that was at the point that I seen God. It was like an outer body experience. I was surrounded by these stars, and I remember seeing like waterfalls around me, and there was this bright white light that I can pretty much look at it with my eyes open. It was like a pure white light. And I heard the voices like, "David, you have nothing to worry about. You have a beautiful life ahead of you." And deep within, I knew that was God. I just felt some type of familiarity, and I just knew. And he shows me a quick glimpse into my future, and then says, "Wake up." And that's when I wake up in the ICU after the surgery. And my first words to my mother was, "Thank you, God, for letting me live." And my mother, who was there at my bedside when I woke up from my surgery, she starts crying because I didn't know what was going on. She didn't really know what was going on. And I just knew that God had intervened somehow. So fast forward to when I was then transferred to a rehab facility. And during my recovery process, I was a very angry and depressed person due to losing my facilities and not being able to be as independent as I once was.
That's understandable.
One of my therapists, she actually recommended that I take a visit to the geriatric floor because we were on the peds floor, as I was only 12 years old at the time, and I was surrounded by a bunch of other pediatrics who were also just as miserable as I was. So my physical therapist, she recommended me go to the geriatric floor to kind of see how everybody on that floor was doing, because she knew that they were a little lighter and they kind of more accepting of why they're in the hospital as opposed to being a kid in the hospital, and they kind of helped me during a very dark time in my life, because while I was on the geriatric floor, I would do activities like Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, and things like that. And we do all different types of arts and crafts, and that kind of helped me keep my mind sane. So I stayed within the rehab facility for about 6 months, recovering, to get my functionalities back and everything. And where was I going with this story? Shoot. Yeah. So, and when I get out of the hospital, I graduate school and everything. When they said that I was supposed to get left back because I had missed at least 6 months of school, but I ended up graduating at the top of my class.
Oh, congrats.
Yes, thank you. It was through a lot of hard work and tutoring that helped me get back on track. So I thank my tutors most importantly. And after that, of course, I went through college, got my degree, got married, also got divorced. That was at the end of COVID. I moved here to Las Vegas, Nevada after COVID, and I pretty much used Uber as a way to get my name out there, to learn the town, to make money as well. And through that, I started finding fulfillment in helping seniors, getting them to their doctor's appointments, helping them with their groceries and stuff like that. And I started finding a lot of fulfillment in that. And ironically, through one of my clients in my transportation business, I met somebody who had introduced me to owning a home care agency. And at that point, it started feeling like maybe this might be my calling. I feel like this might be where God needs me to be. So I did my research, I looked into it, and I saw there was a huge demand for home care, especially with the baby boomers in their population currently getting to that age where they will be in need of home care. So I pulled the trigger. That was back in 2024. And since then, I've been really getting the compliance down to get the licensing in order to open up the agency. When that was in 2025, when I was finally able to open up the doors to my agency in June. And here I am today, 14 months later, now in business. We are serving about maybe 3 clients. We have a team of about 10 caregivers. I have a care manager and someone who does my outreach as well.
That's really cool. So I'm curious. So is this home care agency that you've started, is that your own, or is it part of a franchise?
Yes, this is part of a franchise that I bought into. It's called Home Well Care Services. And like I said, my territory is mostly Southeast Las Vegas and Henderson. We have about 2 other locations, one in Centennial, the other one is in Summerlin.
Oh, nice. I was going to say that's really cool, because I know those communities that you're in have really big senior communities there, especially where I live in Henderson. I'm over near Cadence. Yeah, and the Water Street area has their own senior apartment complex. Sure you might.
I might need to pop into that facility. And I don't think I've been on that side of town on Water Street to really promote the business. So thanks for letting me know. After this podcast, I'm probably gonna head over there with some of my brochures and see what I can talk to.
There's actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. There's later today, I think at 5, somewhere on Water Street, I forget where, there's a business mixer.
Oh.
And I think it's free, I'm not sure, but I'm going to be going to it. I can send you the information.
Sure, yeah, please do. I'd love to stop in and see who I can connect with out there.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I for sure will send you that information. And I was just going to say, I really appreciate you sharing your story and getting back on your feet and moving to Vegas. And then, in a way, kind of stumbled upon this business.
Yes. I mean, it kind of found me in a way, because my mom, she's, like I said, she's been a nurse, and she's always known that I've needed to be in the healthcare industry somehow, but I just didn't want to be a doctor because it was just too much schooling involved. But I knew I wanted to have a business, some type of business in healthcare and home care. So it kind of found me in a way. There was all these signs that were kind of just nudging me in that direction. Because before I found home care, I've dabbled in a few other industries like music and tech. So yeah, so it's funny how you might choose a certain path, and then one way or another, whatever is supposed to find you will find you. So I feel like that was definitely a blessing in disguise.
Absolutely. Sure. Absolutely. And that's cool too, because like when you're working Uber, you're always talking to people, and you just never know who you're gonna meet doing Uber. So
exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
That's beautiful. So my next question I wanted to ask you is, so what was when you started this 15 months ago, what has been the biggest challenge, starting this business?
I would say the biggest challenge would be to get trusted referral partners and the people to trust me and to trust that they're in good hands, because I started this business literally to provide a service for families that I would want my family to be utilizing for their loved ones, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that was pretty much the whole reasoning of me creating this business.
That makes a lot of sense, because, when you're starting out, it's just getting the right people that you can trust and getting the word out there and all that jazz. And so my next question is, what's next on the horizon?
I mean, we definitely want to grow our client base to at least 15 to 20 clients. So we still have a little bit of ways to go. So that's what we're focusing on. Mostly is that getting these new clients through the door and showing them that we can be a trusted provider, and we can care for your family in ways that they want, in the ways that they want their family to be cared for.
My next question for you that I wanted to ask is, what would you say makes your home care business different from the other ones here in Nevada?
Well, I would definitely say, my story is definitely one that people can relate to, because I've been there. I've seen firsthand how it is to lose your independence. And honestly, I know that I have the heart for this business, which is what a lot of them. I don't know. I don't want to speak for other owners, but I've met other owners who have gotten to this business just for money purposes. But me, I want to make a huge difference in this space. And also, we just literally partnered up with a company called Vital Health, where it allows us to utilize AI scans for our clients, where we can show them where they're at with their overall wellness, because this AI wellness scan it's as accurate as a blood test, and it literally breaks down all of your vital functions and what you may be deficient in, and also recommends on what diet you should be on, or what supplements or vitamins you should be taking to kind of improve on these deficiencies throughout your body.
That's really cool. That you're just adding to that repertoire of services that you provide. I'm curious, when it comes to the caregivers that you have, how do you go about getting your caregivers? How did you find them, and how do you recruit them and all that?
We get a lot of people who find us online, who call me up through my phone, and they'll see my website and see that we're hiring, and they'll ask for a job. They'll send me their resumes, and we also have a channel for people to submit their applications through Indeed and other job posts, where we filter out our caregivers.
Love that. And so it sounds like, for the most part, you work directly in these clients' homes. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. We send our caregivers directly to wherever the client calls their home, whether it be a residence, like a private home, or it be a senior center, or independent living, or assisted living center, something like that. It's wherever they call home, pretty much.
That's awesome. It makes it easier for them. It makes it for sure. And because I know some places they have to be at an actual like memory care facility in order to receive those services. So that's nice that you offer, hey, you don't even need to go there. We can come to you. And I'm sure that saves the family some money too, because I know assisted living facilities, if you're putting your senior there, that can cost a lot monthly.
Oh yeah, it gets really expensive. I know. I was recently looking into the numbers. To put a family into a nursing facility, it can cost you about over $8,000.
Oh wow!
As opposed to going with home care, which would be most likely more than half of that.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Because it's like, why would you put money into a nursing facility when you can put that money into where you're living, and we can have somebody come in and care for you at your own home, which is where people will prefer to stay anyways.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it sounds like it's gone up, because I know this one business, one of the caregivers, and they're saying it was like around, at that time it was like around 5,000 or more to
yeah, it's only increasing.
Yeah,
these
so
numbers.
That's crazy that it's gone up.
Yeah, inflation, man. Inflation.
That makes it a lot different, that you can go to them or go to wherever their senior apartments or their assisted facility. And my question I wanted to ask is, so will you also do senior care at an assisted living facility where the assisted living facility, let's say, also has their own caregivers?
If the facility has their own caregivers, then they probably won't need us unless they need us to staff for any caregivers that call out on their end. That would probably be the only way that we would actually staff for that facility, or if that facility doesn't already employ caregivers, then that would be an ideal situation for us, which I'm trying to do. I'm trying to look into different housing developments where they're housing veterans or elderly or disabled people, and we wanna staff out our caregivers to these facilities to not only relieve them of the pressures of staffing caregivers, but to just make an overall synergistic partnership for both of us.
Yeah, that would be really cool. That would be a perfect partnership. Really cool. Because I know those housing facilities do exist, and they're always looking to train new caregivers or get new caregivers. And I understand.
Yes. If you find any, let me know.
I definitely will. I was going to say that, and I understand that training the caregivers takes a lot of time too. So
absolutely, and you want to make sure you get the right caregivers.
Absolutely, and that would be a benefit using you, is your caregivers already trained and have those systems in place, so they wouldn't need to on their end hire and train those new caregivers. That would be brilliant.
Yeah, it saves them a lot of time and money. So it would be a perfect marriage for home care services who staffs caregivers to be paired up with a facility that houses veterans and or disabled adults or aging seniors.
I like that, and I'll have to connect you with my friend Rommel. He's really well connected when it comes to the space of getting seniors in housing, whether it's a senior home or memory care facility. He's a good connection, so I'll have to connect you with him.
Yes, please do. I'm trying to connect with as many like-minded people in this industry as much as I can.
I love that. And so the next question I wanted to ask you, David, is just wanted to shift gears and ask, okay, so outside of your business, what do you love to do for fun?
Well, I actually like going to the gym, and I actually just started getting into streaming. I'm trying to be a video game streamer these days. I know it's a little late, but it's never too late to get into new things.
That's really
right?
cool. So do you do that streaming on YouTube or on a different channel?
I do it on was it Twitch?
Ah, nice.
Yeah,
That's the big one.
Yes, and sometimes we'll tap into TikTok as well, but mostly I've been streaming on Twitch, and I've been finding that a little fun.
That's cool. Is there a particular genre of video games that you play?
Yes, RPGs, role playing games.
Nice.
I love RPGs. It's like reading a book, but like having an interactive
Yeah,
book.
that's true.
Kind of.
That's true. I play some RPGs myself on my computer, but it's mainly not multiplayer. It's mainly the single player ones.
Yeah. Those are the ones I like, because I don't really have these days. You can't really have multiplayers like you used to back in the days when when I was growing up. I'm 38 now, and we grew up on Nintendo 64
Yeah.
and then Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, and just being able to have people over and just playing with them, as opposed to having to go online and playing with people, was a totally different experience.
Oh
than it is now.
yeah. I remember that growing up. I'm a little bit older than you. I'm 40, so. When I was growing up, it was PS2, the Nintendo 64, and you'd bring people over, and you'd have usually over the weekends after school.
Yes. That
was a lot of fun.
Yes, I tell my friends all the time, like if we had what the kids have now when we were growing up, man, it'd be a different ball game. I'd be a streamer right now. I'd be a video game streamer or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be wild. It's wild to think about that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. But anywho,
Yeah,
I was gonna shift gears again and just ask you, so outside of growing your business by reaching out to more people and networking and all that, and growing your team, is there any new projects that you have or anything new on the horizon for your business?
Absolutely, yes. I want to start incorporating more events and more engagement for my actual clients and for potential clients, and we want to get into the event space to let people know who we are, and this is what we do, and we're good people, and we're just here to make an impact in this community.
Love that. What type of events are you planning to do?
We're still trying to figure it out, but I want to do like customer appreciation events where we're giving out free popcorn, stuff like that, and raffles are a big thing. So we're gonna have some raffles coming up soon, especially now that school's back in session. Maybe we do some raffles for some book bags, or some pens and stuff like that.
That's an awesome way to give back to the community. That's really cool.
Yes, just trying to find ways to engage.
100%. And so my next question to you, David, is what is the best way for people to learn about you online, and let's say there's a family and they want to work with you? What's the best way they can do that?
You can get in touch with me by calling my office directly at 702-660-2060. You can also follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. And of course, you can always find us on our website is www.homewellcares.com/NV275. You can also reach out via email as well as to dlemaire@homewellcares.com.
And then, so Dave, my second to last question I want to ask is, what is there a certain takeaway or anything you'd like to say before we wrap on out of here?
Sure, yeah. I would just like to say, we have a great team of caregivers. We're caring people, and we're here in your communities, especially Southeast Las Vegas and Nevada. We're here to provide our families some peace of mind, respite care, and of course, we wanted to treat you guys like family. So just give us a shot, and you won't be disappointed. I promise.
Love that. Right on. So that is it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Definitely check out David and his website. Learn about his awesome services. If you know any family or any senior that needs help and some care.
Yes. Veterans as well. We take veterans.
Perfect. So that's it for the episode, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, so that way you're updated for the next episode. And then also make sure to follow Dave and follow him online and give him some love on his episode as well.